Today, I want to talk about how to get a W on Sneakers app. If you're tuning into this video, then likely you have probably been getting a lot of L's and you're getting frustrated and you want to know why. I've actually caught a lot of W's, and disclaimer, to tell you the truth, I've also got a lot of L's on there as well. But I feel like if you follow these steps and you take some of these tips into consideration and you apply them, you might have better luck. I have a lot of friends who try to hit and they ask me, how do you get so many W's? Personally, I feel like, yeah, I do get a few W's here and there. I've also taken a lot of losses and it's very frustrating. But over time, I have come up with some strategies and some ways that have helped me a lot. I recently just got these, and I've also gotten a few other releases recently. So let's jump right into it and let's talk about the obvious. The obvious, and some of y'all are probably doing this already, is multiple accounts. So with multiple accounts, there's going to be some things you're going to want to follow as well. For instance, if you're doing multiple accounts in your household, say your girlfriend, your wife, your husband, your kids, your dog, whatever, there's some things that you need to know about that. And number one is you need to know that when you're doing multiple accounts, you can't just have the same address. You don't want to have the same internet service, and you also don't want to have the same credit card. So with the address, I know people used to tweak it a little bit. Like say you lived on 123 West Avenue. Some people would have their wife put Avenue and spell it out, and other people would abbreviate it AVE. I think that used to work, but I think they're a little bit more hip to that now. So what we do in my house when my wife wants to hit for me or try to shoot for a shoe that I want, she'll have the address already. The shipping address will be for her mother's house. So that helps a lot, and she's actually gotten a lot of W's for me. And another thing is credit cards, and you don't want to have the same credit card. Use the same credit card. They have their bot protectors, and believe it or not, they actually are trying to stop the bots. So you'll get clipped if you have the same credit card, the same address, the same internet service, anything like that. So use multiple credit cards, use different internet. For instance, when we wake up in the morning over here on the West Coast at 7 o'clock a.m., I will usually just use my regular phone service and she'll use our Wi-Fi. So that usually helps. One of us usually hit. You know, if you're doing it at home with your girlfriend or your family members' accounts and you're wondering why you're all taking L's, it's because you're probably all using the same service. You're on the same Wi-Fi and it's clipping you. It's recognizing you as a bot and it's getting you out of there. So that's something to think about when you're trying for these sneakers early in the morning on the sneakers app. And another thing that I've noticed, and I've heard a lot of people talk about this, and I think it's true, female accounts. You know, I don't know if you want to go all the way in and completely change your name, but all you have to do is when they ask for your gender, when you're setting up your account, put female. And I do feel like they want to cater to the females. I feel like there's not as many female sneakerheads, but there are a few sneakerheads out there that are female gender, and they like to cater to that because it's mostly men. So using a female account does work. Also, another thing, if you have been continuously catching that L and you're not getting these sneakers ever, it's time to get a new account. And I know when I've had friends that have gotten new accounts, they're like, oh, I'm not hitting. I tell them to get a new account, and next thing you know, they're hitting. You're not going to hit every time. Full disclaimer, you're just not. You're not going to get a W every time. There is no code. There's no secret to just every time, unless you're a bot. But there are those times when you're just catching L's and it's ridiculous. So you need to make a new account, and I guarantee you something's going to happen. A couple more tips that I want to talk about when you have a draw. So when you have a draw and you jump right in, I really believe that they automatically assume that you're probably a bot, especially if you just jump right in as soon as it happens. They're going to clip you. They're going to see you as a draw. And I've heard a lot of people, they're going to see you as a bot and you're going to be out of there. So I think that For me, I always wait a couple minutes, and I've talked to other people, and it seems like the 2 minute mark, that seems to be the new thing. That seems to be the one that's working for a lot of people. I've also noticed when there's a lot of traffic in there and it's kicking you out and you're getting that error, and I keep trying and I keep trying and I keep trying, at the last minute I finally get in, I get an automatic dub almost instantly. I don't have to wait or anything like that. So maybe wait a little bit, but that could be tricky, because if you wait till that last minute and you try to get in and there's a lot of traffic and you catch that error, it's going to be too late. So as far as for the draws, yeah, wait a little bit, but don't wait too long, because you don't want to lose your opportunity. And then we have to talk about Leo drops. Leo drops means limited entry opportunity. I heard somebody say it was like let everybody something, but I don't know. It's limited entry opportunities, which basically means first come, first serve. So that's when you want to be quick. That's when you want to get in, and you want to get in as fast as you can. A lot of people use PayPal or they use Apple Pay. There's even a way to set up so that you can use a fingerprint and you don't have to go through all that BS signing in and all that stuff, which is another thing that I want to talk about. Me and my boy G from Fresh Kicks, we kind of came up with our own little strategy for that, so that you don't have to sign in. We go in a little early and we find a shoe that's been sitting. We find us a brick and we click on it, and then it tells us to sign in. And as soon as it tells us to sign in, we just back out of it, and then we wait for it to open up, and then we jump in, and we don't have to sign in. You might have to put in your security code, but that's when like PayPal and Apple Pay and all that comes in. I believe you don't have to do all that. You'll just jump right in. And that's for the Leo drops. So that's the first come, first serve. One last thing, I think that I've been hearing a lot of people say put a picture on your profile, because like we were discussing, they do have bot protection. It might not look like it. You might feel like the bots are just eating everything up, but they are trying. And if you put a picture on there, that's just one more thing that's going to make you look like an actual human. It's going to say, oh, okay, this is an actual person. There's a picture here. They've actually been interacting on the app. They got a picture up. And yeah, then you'll have a better chances. It'll increase your odds. And also, one last thing too as well, go in there every once in a while, like on some things, watch the videos, watch everything, interact with the app when they do the little polls. And it's not going to guarantee you anything, because I've done all this before and took L's on major releases. But if you do all these steps and you do your due diligence and you get multiple accounts, you make sure that they're all different, no same credit cards, no same addresses, you know what I'm saying, different internet services, and I think it'll really increase your chances of getting a W. So I just want to say good luck to everybody. If you can, like, comment, subscribe, and share. I'd really appreciate it. It'll help the channel out a lot. And until the next video, I'll see you guys on the next one.